Okay, so, but Tom, you've now got a new business because you're out of William Hill and you're out of Tom Waterhouse bookmaking. What's the new business?
Well, I've been a bookie most of my life now, and learned from my dad and my grandfather, and then obviously started TomWaterhouse.com and then ran William Hill in Australia. And you see how hard it is for punters to win. The odds are against them, and very few punters actually win out there. There's a small group, a dozen or so professional punters that win a lot, but the average punter, it's tough over the long term. And the reason being is most don't know how to do the form, they don't know how to stake correctly, and they don't know how to get on at the best price. And so I thought, well, I know how to do that, and why don't I show people how I win betting and what sort of rules you need to follow to do it. And I didn't know if there would be a huge appetite for it or if people would be interested in it, but they have been. And basically set out the rules of how to look for the right horse, how to stake, how much to have on it, and how to get on at the right price, whether it's looking across the exchanges, the totes, how many bookmaker accounts to have open, and really just trying to show them how they can win betting. And it doesn't mean they're going to win betting, because you have to have a huge amount of discipline to follow that day in, day out and stick to the staking plan. But I'm basically showing them how we do it, how we win betting and how professional punters win.
How's the market reaction so far?
Been great. I've been surprised actually with the appetite that people have had for it, in that it's been, it's something different, because most people, I don't know of any other person that's gone out there and put his name and his reputation to try and show people how to win betting. Most people that have put their name out there have been taking bets, but it's a hard task to basically put your name out there and say, look, I believe you can win betting like this, and it's going great. Our gold package, which is our main package, is up over 35% return on investment since we started. Our silver package is up over 60% return on investment, and but you have to follow the rules, and that's hard. It's not to say everyone would be up that, because if you don't follow the staking plan, if you go and say, actually I like Gay's horse in the next and Tom hasn't tipped, I'm going to have this, or I liked Darren Weir's horse, you can't just pick and choose. You have to follow relentlessly, and you have to be relentless about getting on at the top of the market.
So in a sense, it's a disciplined approach, and someone who embraces your business model is going to have to educate themselves on how to punt differently to get different results.
Exactly, punt differently, and make sure they have the discipline to do it, and make sure they also have the time to open up accounts with all the different bookmakers and follow it. But it's interesting because there's no school for bookmaking, you know, and I've had my grandfather and my dad, we live and breathe it. I speak to them all the time, how to win betting, how to win bookmaking, how to look at odds, how to weigh up probability. It's second nature to me, but for most people, they're just looking at the colour of the horse and doing it once a year.
Yeah, and you're offering some sort of money-back guarantee, which seems courageous.
Yeah, so look, I thought, well, if I can't show a positive return for members, I don't want to be taking their money. So I basically set up the gold membership, which has a money-back guarantee that if you show a negative return in your first 28 days of joining, you get your subscription money back, and at least allows members to see, well, does this work for me? Is it what Tom's been telling me that it's about? And yeah, the response has been great, and the return's also been great for members, and I think it's something different.
So this is the first year that you haven't been working in a bookmaking business, is that right?
It is. Since I left school, actually, first year of uni, being a bookie, and I've come here as a punter many years before. I came here as a bookie working at the Caller Card in 2008, 2009. But yeah, I love coming here either as a bookie or as a punter and just betting.
Tom, let's just talk about how you invest your own money. If you're not, you know, in the bookmaking scene, how else do you invest your money?
Property, the big US tech stocks, just for a passive investment. But for me, I prefer to put money in my own businesses and really the areas that I know, and to get return in terms of betting wise, I can always, and bookmaking and this industry, I know a lot about it. And so they're the businesses or the things I want to put money into, my own businesses. But in terms of passive, not think about it, more property and those big US companies, they've done pretty well. But I'd always prefer to put money into my own businesses.
I mean, you've been intrigued with Bitcoin lately, haven't you?
Yeah, Bitcoin. Obviously, the growth in the gambling sector, in the betting sector, the biggest betting companies in the world since 2014 have been cryptocurrency only bookies, and they just sprung up from nowhere. Very small team size, they don't have great user experience, don't have any marketing, but they've allowed that cross-border transfer of value for people in countries that couldn't normally transfer money across to be able to bet. And we were astonished by the growth in 2014 and started investing in the space and partnered with Right Click Capital in this blockchain global holdings, which is invested in a stack of different blockchain businesses, and the main one has been Listed Reserve, which is a wholesale index fund, first Australian financial services licensed Australian bank account, offering an index of the top 20 blockchain assets for high net wealth and wholesale investors. And really for people that go, well, I'm interested in the space, it's a new growing space, but I don't have the time to set up private wallet and remember my private keys and do all the KYC. They can just invest in our fund and have exposure to the space.
So it's a privately listed fund?
Yeah, it's just a wholesale, private wholesale fund, yeah, it's had.
Just in case people are interested, what was the name of it again?
So listedreserve.com. You can go to the website and they've done it in a difficult period. Since it's been up since operating in terms of return in a market that's down 30 to 50%. So.
All right, Tom, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Peter. Thanks.